Ever wonder how Pakistan's economy compares to the rest of the world? Well, let's dive into that. Pakistan, the world's 26th largest economy by purchasing power parity, is characterized by a mixed economy with sectors ranging from textiles, agriculture, healthcare, and IT, all contributing to its gross domestic product or GDP. Speaking of GDP, Pakistan's GDP is a crucial indicator of its economic health. In recent years, it has been fluctuating, demonstrating the dynamic nature of the country's economy. However, it's important to note that GDP alone doesn't provide a complete picture. We must also consider other key economic indicators such as the inflation rate and the unemployment rate. Pakistan's inflation rate, a measure of the rate of increase in prices over a given period, has been a roller coaster ride, experiencing both highs and lows. On one hand, a higher inflation rate can indicate a strong economy, but on the other, it can also lead to increased costs of living, affecting the purchasing power of the citizens. The country's unemployment rate, on the other hand, shows the number of people actively looking for a job as a percentage of the labor force. A lower unemployment rate is always a good sign, indicating that more people are employed, contributing to economic activity. The backbone of Pakistan's economy is its diverse sectors. The textile industry, for instance, is one of the largest contributors to the country's GDP, employing millions of people. Agriculture, another crucial sector, is not just a significant contributor to the GDP, but also a primary source of livelihood for many Pakistanis. Add to this the burgeoning IT sector, healthcare, and numerous others, and you get a multifaceted economy. Comparing these indicators with other countries provides a broader perspective, allowing us to see where Pakistan stands in the global economic landscape. With these facts in mind, the question arises, is Pakistan's economy on the right track? Opening. How does Pakistan's economy stand in South Asia? To answer this question, let's begin by comparing Pakistan's economy with that of its South Asian neighbors, namely India, Bangladesh, and Sri Lanka. This comparison will be based on key economic indicators such as GDP growth, inflation rate, unemployment rate, and trade balance. Firstly, consider India, the largest economy in South Asia. India's economic growth has been impressive over the past decade, with its GDP growing at an average rate of around 7% per year, significantly outpacing Pakistan's average growth rate of just about 3.5%. Furthermore, India's inflation and unemployment rates have been relatively stable, reflecting the health and resilience of its economy. Next, let's look at Bangladesh. Despite being one of the smallest countries in the region, Bangladesh has shown remarkable economic progress. Its GDP growth rate has consistently been above 6% for the past 5 years, surpassing Pakistan's. Moreover, Bangladesh's trade balance has been improving, indicating a strong export sector, something that Pakistan has been struggling with. Now, moving on to Sri Lanka. Though Sri Lanka's economy is smaller than Pakistan's, it has managed to maintain a steady GDP growth rate, averaging around 5% over the past few years. This stability, along with a lower unemployment rate, makes Sri Lanka's economy competitive in the region. In contrast, Pakistan's economy has been grappling with a number of issues, including high inflation, high unemployment, and a weak trade balance. These issues have led to slower economic growth and have put Pakistan's economy at a disadvantage in comparison to its South Asian counterparts. In conclusion, while each of these South Asian economies has its own strengths and weaknesses, it is clear that in terms of key economic indicators, Pakistan lags behind. Whether it's the robust growth of India, the promising progress of Bangladesh, or the stability of Sri Lanka, Pakistan's economy has some catching up to do. Closing. Clearly, Pakistan's economy has its challenges in the region. But how does Pakistan's economy stack up globally? Let's dive into that. When we look at the economic giants of the world, the United States, China, and Germany, we see economies that are diverse, robust, and innovative. The United States, for instance, boasts a massive gross domestic product, GDP, that towers over $2 trillion. It's a powerhouse fueled by technology, innovation, and a highly skilled workforce. Then we have China, a global manufacturing hub. It's an economy that has experienced an incredible growth trajectory over the past few decades, propelling it to the second largest economy worldwide. China's GDP runs over $14 trillion, an astounding figure that speaks volumes about its economic might. Germany, the economic engine of Europe, is not far behind. It's renowned for its precision engineering, high-quality manufacturing, and robust service sector. With a GDP well above $4 trillion, Germany stands as a testament to a strong, balanced economy. Now let's pivot to Pakistan. While its economy has shown resilience in the face of challenges, its GDP barely touches $300 billion, a figure that is dwarfed in comparison to the global giants. The mainstay of Pakistan's economy, agriculture, contributes around 20% to the GDP, but it's vulnerable to climate change and market volatility. The manufacturing sector, though growing, is yet to reach the scale seen in countries like China. Pakistan's service sector, too, while promising, is hampered by issues such as lack of innovation, low productivity, and inadequate infrastructure. The country's economic indicators, such as GDP per capita, literacy rate, and unemployment rate, also lag behind compared to the global averages. In essence, the comparison with these major global economies underscores the gap that Pakistan needs to bridge. It highlights the need for structural reforms, investment in education and technology, and a focus on sustainable, inclusive growth. As we can see, Pakistan has a long way to go in the global economic landscape. But remember, every journey begins with a single step, and it's never too late to take that step towards progress and prosperity. What hurdles does Pakistan face in its economic journey? Let's delve into the main challenges that are currently plaguing Pakistan's economy. First and foremost, political instability often stands as a major hurdle. The frequent changes in government policies, coupled with political unrest, have led to inconsistent economic strategies. This lack of continuity tends to discourage both domestic and foreign investors, thereby hindering economic growth. The second challenge is corruption. It is a pervasive and long-standing issue in Pakistan. Corruption not only erodes the country's wealth, but also hampers economic development. It discourages foreign investment and wastes resources, which could have otherwise been utilized for the betterment of the country. Next up is the energy crisis. Pakistan has been grappling with power shortages for many years now. Industries often run below their capacity due to the unavailability of power, leading to lower production levels. This in turn hampers economic growth. Furthermore, insufficient power supply also affects the quality of life for the citizens, as it interferes with basic amenities like water supply and healthcare services. Last but not least, the lack of infrastructure is a significant problem. The country's infrastructure, including roads, bridges, and public transport systems, is in dire need of improvement. Without a robust infrastructure network, the movement of goods and people becomes difficult, making it harder for businesses to operate efficiently. Moreover, poor infrastructure also impacts the delivery of public services, thereby affecting the overall quality of life for the citizens. In summary, the main challenges for Pakistan's economy include political instability, corruption, energy crisis, and lack of infrastructure. Each of these issues, while significant in their own right, also interconnect and exacerbate the other problems. This creates a complex web of difficulties that the country must navigate in order to bolster its economy. These challenges pose significant obstacles to Pakistan's economic growth. So, what's the way forward for Pakistan's economy? Let's talk about it. To begin with, political stability is a must. It's the backbone of any thriving economy. Just like a sturdy tree needs strong roots, an economy needs a stable political environment to flourish. For Pakistan, this means a transparent and accountable government that prioritizes the country's economic needs. Next, curbing corruption is another crucial step. Corruption creates economic inefficiency, discourages investment, and erodes public trust. To win the economic battle, Pakistan needs to wage a war against corruption. This involves strengthening the country's legal and judicial systems, promoting transparency, and fostering a culture of accountability. Investing in infrastructure is also vital. Infrastructure is the bedrock of economic growth. It's akin to the veins and arteries of our bodies, carrying the lifeblood of commerce and trade. Improved roads, bridges, ports, and telecommunications networks can stimulate economic activity, create jobs, and enhance the country's competitiveness. For Pakistan, strategic infrastructure investments can be a game changer. Moreover, improving energy supply is key. Energy is the fuel that powers the engine of economic growth. Pakistan's chronic energy shortages are a significant roadblock to its economic development. Addressing this issue requires diversifying the energy mix, promoting energy efficiency, and investing in renewable energy sources. Lastly, but certainly not least, education and skills development must not be overlooked. A well-educated and skilled workforce is the cornerstone of any prosperous economy. Pakistan must invest in its human capital to ensure its future economic success. In conclusion, the battle of economy is not lost yet for Pakistan, but it requires a multi-pronged approach. It's about creating a stable political environment, fighting corruption, investing in infrastructure, improving energy supply, and developing human capital. While the road ahead is challenging, with the right policies and reforms, Pakistan can improve its economic standing on both regional and global platforms.